Welcome to the channel A31 today live in Cruz, California. Cold Hardy Zone 9B. Check out this Necta Z, now fully dormant. Alright, the windstorm blew all the leaves out. These are supposed to be toxins. You need to get rid of them on the peaches and nectarine. And then watch out for the peach leaf curl. This one's pretty good about fighting it off, but I will be spraying the liquid cop and the horticultural oil combo, treating it. Take a look. It wants to pull to the right. The right limbs are exercising dominance because of the warmer late evening sun. So I want to check it. I want to bring it back because I don't want to have it running into the whip. I don't want to have it running into the truck. So I'm going to bring it down. Again, normally it's summer size control, but right now it's going to be heading cuts. Heading cuts as much as 25%. So look, check out, that's the limb right here. You can come back as much as 25% for a production pruning. Winter pruning is production pruning. So you want to do heading cuts. You want to decapitate the limb somewhere along the way to stimulate that bloom bud swell. Okay, we want production. All right, take a look. I've already kind of studied this a little bit, so I'm gonna just go through it and then tell you like my decision making. It's okay right here. Before I wanted to keep a lot, but then it gets too busy, and you can see there's like mold or fungus, so I want that tree to breathe. And then like you can see right here on diseased, I want to get rid of that. There's a little bit more over here. So these limbs look good, but again, these limbs looks on our way there. We've been infected. So I'm gonna go back to the cleanest limbs, and it's gonna be this white right here. And it's gonna be pretty hard to get in. That's gonna be hard to get in there, but I can always go back. Again, a little bit more severe, but it's okay. It'll bounce back. Right here, then I just want to do a heading cut, leaving on an outward facing bud, and I'll go that way. And this one I wanted to open out that way. I don't want it to run in the vehicle, so I'm gonna go there. Outward facing bud in that direction. Okay. Alright. And then this one. This fork is all wrong. Again, none of these limbs are final. I'm just keeping them short term for production. So we're headed, what am I doing? This is production pruning a nectarine, a miniature nectarine. Again, you want outward facing buds so that it continues to open up. Open center. From the center, open up, no intersecting branches. No, wrong, okay? You want it to cleanly open out. Okay, and the limbs to kind of dance around each other. Okay, this on inward most vertical right here. This is going inward, vertical. That's okay. That's cleaning it up. This is a heading cut. I'm sorry, this is a thinning cut. But it's okay. You can kind of lightly still correct it and shape. But again, it's going to be mostly heading cuts for production. Okay, these two on overlapping, you have to make a decision. I'm always going to go lower, so I'm going to go right here. I'm going to cut that off. And then outward facing. Okay, outward facing, and I'm going to go there. And then these two, I'm going to shoot them out parallel to the bed's edge right here. Okay, again, I don't want it to scratch the vehicle. So then you go to the limb, you go to the outward facing bud, it's going that way. And I'll go back. And then these limbs right here, this way. Okay. This vertical, it's alright because you don't want to overexpose the tree. If it had a cleaner angle, I would have cleaned it up, but kind of flat, it could get sun scorched. So it's alright. This right here, continue to open this way. So a heading cut. And that's that limb right there. Take a look at this limb right here. Again, outward swooping, so this is inward most vertical, wrong. And then we're gonna call this inward most vertical for this limb right here as well. All right, and then clean this up right here. It broke, so just give it a clean cut. And then outward facing bud right there. And these two are running too tight, but I'm going to try to keep them and shape them out of each other's way in the future. So this one, I'm going to pull this way. And then this one, I'm going to pull that way. Okay. These two are good angles. The only thing, they're a little low. What kind of plant is this? This is a Necta Z. A Necta Z miniature nectarine. Developed by Floyd Zager, the Zager family farm. They do the stone fruit hybrids. So this is a Necta, I think it's a nectarine and a plum hybrid, but then pulled back to grow like a nectarine. All right, you'll get fruit on a year one budwood. On the year one budwood, the redwood, you know, like the peaches or the nectarines. So yeah, the growth pattern is like a nectarine. And then it's also susceptible to the peach leaf curl. It does a good job about fighting it off, but I do the preventative spray. All right, so both of these angles are good. I've had production off of these. So again, none of these are final. The angles are not ideal, but you just have to work with what you have sometimes. So we're going to clean them up and keep them out of each other's way as much as possible. Okay, and then right here, coming back, leaving it on an outward facing bud, coming towards me right there. And then supposedly at an angle so that the water runs back, drips away. And then this one right here, again, you could see anything possibly intersecting in the future, clean it up. And it was already kind of dying. And then I'm gonna leave it again, coming back. Bringing it in as much as a quarter. You can see 1, 2, 3, and I just knocked off the top quarter. Roberto Argueta, saludos, aquí andamos. So alright, we're bringing this side in, favoring this side, because we have a little bit more play right here towards the walkway. We have the candy, and then it'll be cool if it's more towards the walkway, because you could just be grabbing them as you're coming in. You see, so we want to pull the tree more that way. And again, it's going towards the car, so that's why it's going towards the car, because of the late evening sun. But again, we're checking it. All right, you're the master of the garden. You train where this tree wants to go. All right, check it out. And then right here, again, wanting it to pull that way. Everything going this way, I'm gonna clean it up. Okay, it looks like a lot, but I just want to get it going. I want to get it cleaned up. These would have been intersecting branches anyway, so. Alright. And that's kind of diseased and drying. So again, now cleaned up. And then these just leave on an outward facing bud. Again, for a production, this is production pruning. This is gonna stimulate bud swell all right here. Moving along. Drying. Okay, remember dead, dying, and disease. Dead, drying, or dead, dying, distorted. Something, triple D. Dead, distorted, and dying. Or diseased. These right here, again. I'm going to try to keep and swing out of each other's way. I'm trying to keep as much as possible heading in this direction. Al 100, aquí andamos. Okay. Again, outward. And this right here, again, trying to avoid that intersecting. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back, and in the future, I'm gonna swing it by tying it to the neighboring branches. But yeah, let's see. Let's leave it right there. You see that? Perfect. Right there. Kind of left pointing upward. So again, trying to avoid that intersecting. This one I left it out pulling this way, this one that way, and even then I will swing and pry open. Okay, almost done. It kind of dragged on a little too long. But let's see, where am I at? These last few right here. These right here, I'm just gonna leave. Maybe anything just inward, clean up. This one outward facing. You have to look, because sometimes there's no express buds. It's pretty far down, it's down there. But I got it. And then the last of them, the last right here. It's kind of open too wide. I'd want to bring this back, but there's nothing sometimes. So just heading cuts, not really looking. I mean, yeah, I'm looking, but these were just like weaker limbs in comparison to those. That's why I'm checking those. I wanted to pull this way and grow towards a walkway where we could just walk by and pick our fruit. Okay, once again, this was winter heading cuts, production pruning of the Necta Z, Santa Cruz, California, Zone 9B, open center, avoiding intersecting branches. Okay, stay tuned for next up is going to be, again, me formulating the liquid cop and the horticultural oil combo for the peach leaf curl. All right, it does a pretty good job of fending it off, but I really don't like it, so I'm just gonna help it out. Preventative maintenance, give it a couple sprays, 3 sprays, 10-day intervals in between. Stay tuned, and then more grafting videos coming soon. But take a look, avoiding intersecting branches, and then everything cleaned up, and then a light shape again, correcting, bringing it back. I needed to pull that way. Peace.